In this video, I go over my top 10 picks for New Comic Book Day, June 9th, 2021. What's going on, guys? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down my top 10 picks for New Comic Book Day, June 9th, 2021. So if you are here and you are pumped for the new books coming out next Wednesday, make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that little bell notification as well so you can be notified anytime I put out a new video or go live for a live stream. So with that being said, I am very excited because once again, there are so many great books coming out. I always say this is the best time to be reading comic books. All these great new artists and creators and writers that are putting out these awesome books each and every week. I like to clarify, this top 10 list is just the books that I'm excited about, the ones that I'm looking forward to buying as they are coming out, the ones that I've been exploring and reading. And yes, it is really tough to narrow it down to 10 each and every week. I say that, but we will do our best here. So let's start with number 10. Number 10 on the list is a book called Freak Snow, number 1. That's right, Freak Snow, number 1. Let's see, who's the creator here? This is a Behemoth. Okay, so starting off with an indie. This is written by Kevin Rodatelli. Not very familiar with Kevin. Also, Rob Cannon is also a co-writer and does the artwork in here as well. So I have to say, not very familiar with this. I'm always looking for issue number 1s though. Always open to, a lot of these indie books that have been coming out because they've been so good. This one, just looking at the beginning of the description, has got me hooked. It says a frozen apocalyptic story in the spirit of Mad Max, Fallout, and the Borderlands meet Tarantino. So, I mean, that alone, if that doesn't get you excited for a book, I don't know what can. I'm really excited because I like all those titles. It says it begins with this guy Bernie, a psychedelic addict surviving in a glacial wasteland. A fight with brutal gunslingers ensues, and crazy hallucinations lead our weird hero on a quest to find the whole of truth. It says, a mystic whole that tells the truth, basically. The only thing that we promise is a lot of death. And that's how it ends. So that's the book that I'm starting with my list for number 10, Freak Snow, issue number 1. All right, number 9 on the list. This is a series that, this book is part of what's wrapping up a series. And so I'm putting it on the list because I've heard so many great things about it, especially from my friend John. John's Comics with Kids. Shout out to you, John. I know you talk very highly of this book. So my number 9 choice is Far Sector, issue number 12. And as I was just saying, John has talked very highly of this book. I have not read any of the series yet, but I've just heard really good things. So between that being written by N.K. Jemisin and the artwork and cover art being by Jamal Campbell, it looks really good. I'm not very familiar with the story. I understand that this is a new character, Joe Mullen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm just looking forward to it. So it's some Green Lantern stuff. You guys know I'm exploring some DC. So I am putting this on the list because this wraps up the 12-issue series. And, I think it's 12-issue series. Now that I'm looking at the cover, I know it's issue 12, but I actually don't see if it clarifies if they are continuing or not. But either way, it's wrapping up the second trade, so I'm looking forward to jumping into this and reading it as a full series, kind of as a sit down. So I'll be catching up with that. And let me know in the comment section below if you guys are reading Far Sector and if you like it, if you like where it went. Don't spoil anything though, because I do plan on reading this once this comes out. So that's my number 9 pick on the week, Far Sector, issue number 12. Let's go into my number 8. My number 8 pick has to go to SpiderMan. This is the Chip Zdarsky Spider Shadow, issue number 3. This is 3 of 5. And I have to say, I've just really enjoyed the first issue of this. I actually have to catch up on the second, but this is definitely on my list. It's only 5-issue set. It may be good to maybe read and trade, but either way, it's essentially a what if story about Peter Parker if he became Venom. And so the way that Chip Zdarsky is telling the story, one, I'm a big fan of Chip. Love everything he's doing with Daredevil and other things like that. So I'm always open to giving this stuff a shot, especially I liked his Spider-Man life story when he wrote that as well. So that was another thing that really got my attention to want to give this a shot. So I'm going with that. This is issue number 3. Like I said, there's going to be 5 issues altogether. I think it's worth checking out if you guys haven't read it. I'm usually not a big fan of the What If series. But I'm definitely, like I said, I checked out the first issue, really enjoyed it. So that alone, I picked up issue number 2, just haven't read it yet. But definitely going to continue picking this up. So issue number 3, that is my number 8 on the list. Let's see, number 7, we are going to go with a Boom Studios book. This is Proctor Valley Road issue number 4, and I am really enjoying this issue, or the series. Definitely gives you the Stranger Things kind of vibe. It's about these kids who are, it's a horror story essentially, but it's about these kids who, these 4 girls who are teaming up. They go visit this place called the Proctor Valley Road, which is apparently haunted, and they went with some other friends before, these guys that went missing, and now the whole town thinks that it was them that basically made these guys disappear. They don't even know what happened to them. There's this basically this scary bull. Well, that's actually, I should clarify, there's a couple different scary things going on here that we're starting to learn what this mystery is turning into. But there are these, this vision of this drenched woman that we've recently saw, really spooky old lady who has come to haunt them, that they found out in Proctor Valley Road. They think that that this lady has a lot to do with why these guys went missing, these other friends of theirs. So anyways, it's a lot of fun. It's a really good series right now. And again, if you like that Stranger Things kind of vibe, I think that this is another type of series or book that kind of fits that direction. So highly recommend it. Proctor Valley Road, issue number 4. I will be getting that. So that's my number 6 on the list. Let's see. I'm sorry, that's my number 7 on the list. Sorry. My number 7 on the list, Proctor Valley Road, issue number 4. Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm counting backwards. All right, my number 6 on the list goes to Geiger, issue number 3. Oh my goodness, Geiger has been so good. This is an Image title. It's being written by Jeff Johns, who is just killing it. I know he's a very experienced writer and has done so much for the DC universe. So I think, giving this a shot was definitely well worth it. Really enjoying where this is going right now. The main artist, Gary Frank, doing an excellent job as well. Basically, it kind of reminds me of Ghost Rider meets Rambo. I know I've talked about this book before in previous issues, but that is kind of what it reminds me of, at least the kickoff to this, Geiger. So it's a futuristic world where everyone, the world is filled with radiation. You essentially can't go out into the world without wearing some sort of hazmat suit or space suit, or else you will get radiation and die. But the trick is Geiger, who is this essentially like a myth type of guy that people don't really know if he exists or not. He is kind of like I was describing, like Rambo, but he kind of looks like Ghost Rider, how he has the skull, and he can basically light up in this glowy flame almost is what it looks like. So he can actually withstand the radiation. And believe it or not, he's the good guy. So there's this psycho king that lives in Las Vegas, is where a lot of it takes place, out in the desert. And he basically wants to rule where Geiger lives right now, which is this closed off city. Geiger has a mission of his own where he wants to kind of get back in touch with his family, who he had to leave during the initial blow up of how the world turned to how it did. It was basically this radioactive bombing that went back and forth in the United States 20 years earlier. So this is now 20 years later. Geiger is now this radiant kind of guy who has powers, or has abilities, and basically is trying to fend for his city. So anyways, really, really enjoyable read so far. This is only issue number 4. Issue number 3 that's coming out. So I know there's a lot more going on with this story that we haven't even gotten to yet. So not too late to jump in if you guys have not been reading it. But anyways, that's my number 6 pick on the week, Geiger issue number 3. We are halfway done, so make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts so far as we are getting halfway through this list, and let me know if there's something I'm missing here I'm always open to suggestions and recommendations for what good books to be reading. So yeah, let me know about those. All right, issue number, let's see, what are we on? Okay, number 5 on the list. I am going with Magic the Gathering. This is issue number 3, and I am absolutely loving this. I know I've talked about this as well in past previews or series that I brought up. But one of the biggest things, I mean, I used to be a Magic the Gathering player. I think that's a big part as to why I'm so into this. It's kind of nostalgic in a way because I've played Magic for a very long time on a very serious level at one point. This is being written by Jed McKay. I really like Jed McKay's work. Iguara is doing the actual artwork, and then Matteo Scalera is doing some of the fantastic art on the covers and the variants. So make sure, you know, just that alone, man, oh, it's so good. I don't know if it's necessarily for everybody because, again, Magic the Gathering, it does kind of help if you know a little bit more about how the world works and what planeswalkers are and so on and so forth. I would encourage you to give this a read, to check it out, at least issue 1. It does break down into like this mystery of trying to discover who put an assassination out on these 3 planeswalkers. Essentially, planeswalkers are these wizards that can jump from plane to plane, and that's why planeswalkers are named. So they're very powerful, like magicians and wizards, essentially. You know, but there's a lot of goblins and ghouls and other things going on in this mystical fantasy world. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I think Magic the Gathering is a perfect place to start, whether you play the game or not, the card game. But this is by Boom Studios. Boom has been killing it. Not much else to say other than I really like where this is going, love the artwork, and I'm looking forward to this issue. So that is my number 5 on the list, Magic the Gathering issue number 3. So that leads me to my number 4 pick of the week, and it is Maniac of New York issue number 5. Man, oh man, oh man, I love this series. I love where it's going. I am not sure if this is the end of the series. This is an Aftershock book. Aftershock, they've been doing an awesome job. Elliot Killan and Andre Muti doing an excellent job with this book. I'm not sure if this is the end of the road here, if this is issue number 5, they're cutting it off, or if this is continuing to go. But man, if you are into the horror books, this is for you. If you like Jason, like this style, this vibe, it's very gory. It is not for kids, a lot of blood involved, but I do recommend it. I really enjoy how the structure of this is going on, the way that they're telling the story, the way that they're adding characters, or building on the characters that we're learning about. These 2 who have basically signed up for the job of trying to capture the killer, Maniac of New York, which back in, you know, it all starts back in 2016. Basically, the ball's dropping in New York City. It's a new year, 2016, and Maniac of New York, who they now call Harry, shows up with a machete and basically slaughters everybody that's in New York City down at that ball dropping. And then he gets away. And then 4 years pass, and that's kind of where we take place now, where they still have never caught Harry. Harry just randomly shows up and kills people all throughout New York City. And so these 2 individuals are now on the case to try to stop this. And so it's all been this journey on this train ride, this train wreck, basically, that these 2 have been trying to capture Harry. So anyways, Aftershock, I'm loving it. Also, shout out to issue number 3 because that's where they actually put me in the letters in the back, the letter column. So you'll see my name, No Good Comics, in there. So yes, I have made it. I am famous now thanks to this book. So if you want an autograph, let me know. I'm totally joking. Well, I will give you an autograph if you want an autograph, but I'm just making a joke of this. But anyways, that is my number 4 pick of the week. It is Aftershock's Maniac of New York, issue number 5. Let's break down. Let's see. We're down to the last 3 here, and I will tell you this next one here, my number 3 pick of the week is in fact going to be Carmen, issue number 4. I have to say though, these final 3 books really could all be swapped around as a 3-2-1. Because Carmen is just fantastic. It could easily be pick number 1 for me. Absolutely loving it. This is written and drawn by Gilliam March, who is just absolutely killing it with this. This is another Image book. This is issue number 4. So 4 out of 5 issues altogether. If you're not reading any of this, it's a very dark subject of a woman who essentially takes her own life. and is now being visited in this purgatory world where she hasn't gone to heaven or hell or moved on to anything other than just this life where she's still on Earth. But she is visited by this ghost named Carmen. And that's where we get the skeleton chick. And basically Carmen kind of walks her through where she is right now, although she doesn't give her too much detail. The girl, Katerina, she basically is able to float around the world. I mean, she's like at her own town, and she's trying to like talk and get people's attention, but no one can hear or see her. So she's basically a ghost. And she's not sure why she's here at this point, and Carmen is kind of starting to lead the way. There's a lot more detail to what I'm describing right now, but that's kind of the opening scene for issue number 1. So I will kind of leave it at that. But if you're not reading Carmen, I recommend it. I mean, this is issue 4, so knowing that there are only 5 issues, maybe if you're at this point, if you missed out on the first 3, if you want to wait for the trade, maybe that's worth it to wait. Otherwise, though, if you want to just dive in, I do recommend try to pick up those issues, catch up with us, and then another month from now, we'll have issue 5. But very excited for issue 4. Love what Gillian March is doing here. So that is my number 3 pick on the week. Let's see, we're going at about 15 minutes here, so not too bad, not too bad. All right, so my number 2 pick of the week, man, this is tough, but I am going to go with a Boom Studio book. This is Eve, issue number 2, as my number 2 pick. Man, oh man, it is written by Victor Lavelle, artwork by Joe Mi-young, and I am loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. This reminded me of like a kid's version of like this Matrix kind of world in a way. I mean, I guess maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but basically it's about this girl, Eve. She is 11 years old, and she lives in this world of what she knows to be living on this island with her father. And then she quickly finds out that her father like guides her to this sectioned off area of this island, and basically is like talking to her in a way where he's like, I think you're ready for this journey now, so I'm going to introduce you to something that you're not familiar with. And she's like, Dad, what are you talking about? Like, where are you going with this? And she ends up waking up essentially from this, what she's used to as this world that she grew up in for the 11 years of her life. And it turns out that her dad is not with her anymore. She is essentially met by this robot teddy bear, who describes to her that you know, Eve, you're basically in this world where or it's like a kind of a apocalyptic world or a futuristic world, and she's alone. And on top of that, now she is gonna be put in charge of following the notes or the hints of what her dad has left her to not only rescue him, but save the world. So kind of the gist of it. There's obviously a lot more detail to it, but I love it. I love the artwork. Seeing this futuristic world it was so beautiful. The artwork inside, getting a vision of what has to be done to, you know, essentially, again, fix the world, get things back to where they need to be. And I'm a little curious about this robot who is in the form of a teddy bear, which you'll learn all from issue 1. So not giving too much away, I really do think that this is going to be a great series. I really do feel that way. I'm loving it already, really enjoying it. So if you guys get a chance, pick up issue number 1, catch up if you haven't already, and then pick up issue number 2. I know for myself, I am very excited for it. So we will see where it goes, but that's my number 2 pick on the week, Eve, issue number 2. Let's see. All right, so before I get into number 1, I always like to remind you guys, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and do me a favor, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you are watching this right now, whether it's a premiere, because I know I'll be premiering this on Thursday, which I do every Thursday at 12:30 Eastern. If you're watching the premiere, or if you are just catching this replay, do me a favor, comment in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on the books that I had put out, if there's any that you're going to be picking up this week, June 9th, 2021. And let me know if I'm missing any, because I know I am. I know there's a lot of other great books coming out. I know you might notice there's not a lot of X titles on here. That's because I'm slowly catching up with the new X-Men stuff still. So don't think I'm hating on X-Men, or I'm not, you know, I'm just not up to date. That's the only problem for me right now. I'm slowly catching up, but hopefully I'll get there soon, because I heard X-Men 20 was insane. X-Men 21 is coming out June 9th, but that is not my number 1 on the list. my number one on the list, let's get to it right now. My number one pick for this week is going to be Joker. That's right, Joker. This is written by Tynan. Joker number 4 is issue number 4 already. It is just flying by, I feel like. It just came out. So James Tynan writing this stuff, really loving it. This is another Gilliam March artwork. And this is the crazy thing about Gilliam March. The fact that he can go back and forth and write a book like Carmen and put the artwork in what you see in Carmen, and then you open up something like Joker, and it's just 2 complete separate worlds, and yet they're both just stunning. So, if you guys are not familiar with this series, I mean, people make jokes. It's really, it's called The Joker, but it really could be called Gordon, because a lot of this is about Jim Gordon. It kind of opens up the first issue where Jim Gordon is invited to this very rich, expensive mansion where this woman essentially offers him this opportunity to make a lot of money, and all he simply has to do is kill the Joker. And he really is considering this. Now, one thing that the woman does note is that it's not about bringing him to justice. It's not about arresting him or anything like that. Literally, he has to kill the Joker. And so this is where you can see Jim Gordon is a little torn between doing what's right and doing what will benefit him and his family, getting this type of money, being able to support Barbara, all these different things. So there's a lot going on in his head. And we learn that he wants to use Batman to essentially get to the Joker, but he doesn't want to clue him in on all the details of what he has to actually go through. So there's some lies and some things that Jim has to do in order to kind of get to reaching this goal. So right now, this book is kind of led to South America. That's where we learn that Joker's hiding right now. So, but there's a lot of interesting characters that show up in between, and I'm looking forward to more of this. So this is only issue 4. We have a lot more to go. Oh, by the way, they also put these featured punchline stories in the back end. I've really been enjoying those as well. So that's another thing to look forward to with these DC issues. They've Joker, at least, has been having like a and B story. So looking forward to that as well. I love punchline. Really enjoying that. Okay, so there you have it. That's my number 1 pick of the week. It's a DC book again. Again, I talk about this. It's just been crazy. I think I only had one or two. I think I only had one Marvel book. Like I said, if I was caught up with X-Men, I think there'd be a lot more Marvel stuff, because I think Excalibur came out. There's a few others. But yeah, as of right now, with where I stand, I clarified this before. This list is just the books I'm looking forward to because of where I stand with the books that I've been reading. And I'm really excited by these 10 books for the reasons that I've given. So if you like what you heard here today, make sure you hit a thumbs up. Let me know in the description below. In the comment section below, let me know about what books you're getting for June 9th, 2021. I'm very curious what you guys are reading. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this. And if you're in the premiere right now, thank you so much. Thank you for catching this live. If you guys are looking to catch these live, the premieres are always 12:30 Eastern time on Thursdays. So until next time, I will catch you on the next episode.